I'm legit sweating right now. That's what they don't tell you about sewing. It is 90% sweat, 10% creativity. What's up, everybody? We're back with the channel. So, I'm not good at live intros, but here we are anyway. I am getting ready to finally do a project I've been trying to do for like a week and a half, but it's okay. We're finally here. So, we'll get right into it. I ordered a couple of pieces from TEMU. This is not a sponsored video, by the way, but I don't gatekeep things, so I'm letting y'all know exactly where I got what I got. The coolest tapestry blankets on there. Check it out. Immediately recognizable. If you don't know, I'll give you a hint. This is Keith Haring. Keith Haring was an amazing graphic artist and pop artist of the last century. This is the full width and length. So it's a good length, but they're kind of narrow. They're not super, as you can see, they're not super wide. They're long, but they're not wide. So I did order two of them. I ordered two of these blankets because I already knew from a previous project that I worked on with some woven tapestry blankets. I'm like, I need two in order to make sure I have enough space and material to do what I need to do. So second one is in the bag here. So yeah, we're just gonna go in and see what we get. So I'll show y'all the process. So upon further inspection, I've decided that I think I have the correct amount of material to make a bomber jacket. I'm going to use my handy dandy simplicity pattern. This one is the R11066. This is actually one of my favorite patterns I use. I've made several items out of it. It's a sweatshirt pattern, you know, but I find that it works pretty well to make bomber jackets, to make shackets, anything that's really, you know, sweatshirt coated, basically. The base pattern is really simple to use, really easy. This is actually the first pattern that I ever used. That's why it's got a special place in my heart. But yeah, that's the pattern we're going to use for today's project, and we're going to get right into it. Okay, so as with any time you're sewing, you want to go ahead and just take out all of your pattern pieces and kind of get everything prepped. So what I'm doing right now, I've already started taking out the pieces and I've started laying them out on the wrong side of my fabric. I'm using the woven blanket fabric first. Something that I realized as I was cutting out this fabric is just how cool it looks when the design is inverted on the wrong side. So I don't know, I might order a couple more blankets and do something on the inverse, but we'll see how I feel. But right now, I'm cutting out the back and I'm cutting out the front. All right, next thing I'm going in with this lining fabric. So, I love upcycling, as I've told y'all before. So, this fabric I found at the thrift store for about like $2 or something. And it's 100% cotton fabric, beautiful. And I had a whole lot of it, which is great because I want to use it for something else. So I'm just going in and cutting that in half and then going ahead and folding that part in half as well. So I can go ahead and start laying my pattern pieces. Now, the original idea for me making this jacket was I wanted to make it reversible, which is why I chose such a cool lining. And why you'll see later on in the video, I decided to do inside pockets and pretty much make two of the same jacket, just out of different fabrics. But I also realized at the end that I did not have a reversible zipper, so I could not do that. So right now we're just gonna go ahead and just still do how we want to do it. I'm legit sweating right now. That's what they don't tell you about sewing. It is 90% sweat, 10% creativity. There's probably some other percentages in there that I'm forgetting. Blood is one. Yeah, so about 80% sweat, 10% blood, 10% creativity. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Okay, so now I'm going in and I am doing my pockets on the front of the jacket. I decided to do cargo pockets because I love how deep they are. They fit your hands really well. And of course, it allows for storage without a bunch of stuff falling out. That's what a pocket should do. So I'm just laying them out on the front of the jacket. I actually did measurements which were 3 inches up from the bottom hem and then 1 inch from the side on each side. That gave me a symmetrical pocket. Now, because this is a woven fabric, it's gonna fray really easily. And the way I take care of that is I actually do a really tight zigzag stitch around the whole perimeter of the pocket to kind of hold it in. So this is kind of like overlocking, but without an overlock machine or without using a serger. So I've got my stitches set to a zigzag stitch, 2 length and 2 width. And now, as you see, I'm just going in, I've got the pocket laid down, I'm going right over the edge and I'm zigzagging it really tightly right across the top. And then I'm going back and forth a couple times, as you'll see, and that really kind of locks it in. I really like doing this technique because it serves 2 purposes, I should say. 1, it secures down the pocket, but then 2, it still allows for that kind of rough, organic, handmade feel that I'm looking for, which is what this is. But, you know, it really will allow that the fabric itself will kind of naturally continue to fray, but still be secure. And there you just see me do those measurements that I mentioned before. I've got 3.5 inches up from the bottom and 1.5 inches from the side. So now it's symmetrical on both sides. And as you can see, we've got a nice secure pocket. It's zigzagged all around the perimeter. If I put my hand in there, it is not coming out. No holes, no puckers. We're good to go. And now we've pretty much got 2 complete jackets. I've got the lining on the left, I've got the exterior on the right, and in the middle you see me turning the lining inside out and then putting the exterior over top. This is just going to help me line it up from the inside, make sure that everything is fitting right, that's not too much, it's not too tight, and then I'll be able to sew everything down. So now you see me going in and I am actually tacking the 2 layers together. So this is just going to help me make sure everything is lined up. I've got all my seams lined up around the arms especially. And then I'm going to go down and actually zigzag all of this around. I'm using the zigzag stitch because, again, I just don't have a serger right now. And it does the same thing. And these are mainly holding stitches that I'm doing anyway, because I still want to kind of have that rough feel to it. So I'm really just kind of playing off of that. So you see me in here now tacking down the sleeves. I'm actually using some clips here. That's just going to hold it all together while I take it over to the machine. All right, now we've got all of that secured, I'm actually just going around the bottom now and tacking down where I want my hem to actually stop. So if you may have noticed, the lining fabric and the woven fabric, they were a little off on the bottom, which is okay because I already knew that I was going to do some type of hem anyway, and it wasn't off by much, but I'm just going around and pinning it so I can make sure I have everything lined up. And as I'm pinning it, I'm actually pulling the lining down to see how far I need to cut, because I know that the exterior is exactly the length that I need it to be. So anything extra that I'm cutting off is going to be actually the lining. And then the tassels on the back from the original blanket, I'm actually going to take those off as well. I thought I wanted to keep them at first, but I would have had to add more to the front. I didn't really like the way it looked, so I went ahead and cut it off. Okay, here's the progression of the jackets. As you can see, it's looking really good. It's looking really good. So next thing I gotta do, add the zipper. I went ahead and kind of hemmed the point here where I'm gonna add the zipper. I went and zigzagged all through along the edges just to keep it from fraying, and then I just stitched it all the way down. Now, what I'm realizing is that I do not have a reversible zipper here. This is the perfect size zipper. I think it's gonna be a great color to add onto it, but it's not reversible. So that kind of kills the dream of this being a reversible jacket for the moment, but this lining is still pretty damn sick. Now, what we can do, I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and put this regular zipper in, and at some point in time, I'm gonna order a reversible zipper, and then I'll go in and change it out and make it a reversible jacket. The back is pretty simple, but the back is really nice. It's really nice. Also for the hem here, I just went ahead and zigzagged across the bottom as well. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave it as is, kind of raw looking, or if I want to, you know, actually hem it. Same thing with the sleeves. I kind of like them like this, and they actually hit me really well on my wrist. So I think I kind of want to leave a little bit of that raw feel to this. So I think I might do that. And then after I put in the zipper, the last thing I really got to figure out is what I want to do with the collar. Collar, I did zigzag again just to hold the two layers together in place, as you can see right here. I'll probably leave it as a rounded collar, but I want to add, since it is kind of a bomber jacket kind of situation, I think I might add that kind of collar to it. I thought about doing a bias tape, but I think it's gonna be too much of a contrast because I'm not adding it to anywhere else on the jacket. So yeah, I will figure that out in a second, but this is what it's looking like so far. And I'm really, really, really happy about it. Really. Yeah. Yep. Really happy with it. Now we're at the home stretch. We're just gonna get a little crafty. So I'm actually taking another pattern and combining it with this one. I love the stand collar on this pattern for this shirt. So all I'm doing is taking that and I'm combining it with what I've already done. The main thing you wanna do is make sure you match up your sizing. So this size that I've been using is a 42 to 44 chest measurement for a large. I'm matching that up with the shirt measurements on the other pattern. And I'm just taking the collar piece. Didn't show myself cutting it, but that's all I did, and I connected it to the jacket where you can see it beforehand. And now we're at the end. And now we're at the finished jacket. I'm loving it. Like, 10 out of 10, no notes. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I hope you all do too. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good one.